What's up guys, and welcome to a new video. So today we're going to be doing a 20,000 mile review on my 2021 Ranger XLT. So before we start, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know that it actually has 22,000 miles on it. And I'll tell you why I waited. I don't know if you can see it down here, but 22,100 miles. So the reason I wanted to do a 20,000 mile review, but I waited until 22,000 miles, was because one of the main things I wanted to change on this truck for a long time was the tires. The tires that come on them are very small. They're also very, they're just like a basic highway tire. They don't last very long. I think I got 21,000 something out of them. So these are the Falcon Wild Peak AT 3Ws, and this is a 265/70/17, so it's just one size up from stock. So you don't have any rubbing or anything like that. It makes the truck look a lot better, has a much more aggressive stance. I do have a 2.5-inch leveling kit in the front. Some of the mods that I've done to it are, I've blacked out the marker lights up here in the front. My wife bought me the Ford Ranger Raptor grill right there. So these are hooked up into the running lights. I went with amber. Just gives it a nice clean look. Not trying to look like a Raptor, but I just feel like it looks so much better. The Raptor, in my opinion, is a very, very good looking truck, just stock, bone stock. And that's really what I wanted to do with this truck, is I wanted to make it look similar to the Raptor style, but not try to, you know, make people think that I'm driving a Raptor, obviously. So I did the Ranger decal in the rear. I took off the Sport. This is the XLT Sport. Like I said, it's a 2021 Ford Ranger XLT Sport, not 4x4. It is a two-wheel drive truck. That's why I went with all terrains and not mud tires. I don't plan on doing much off-roading whatsoever with this truck. So I'll just give you a nice little walk around. I know the lighting is not so good right there, but I have the blacked out Ranger decals in the back. And yeah, I think it's a really good looking truck. So the truck is also tinted. It is 15% all the way around, and then there's a sun strip up top, which I believe was 5% because it's very dark. Other than that, I really haven't changed much of anything. This is fairly similar to how I bought it, just a lot better looking, more aggressive. I did just clean it, so she's almost spotless right now. Looks really good. She doesn't usually stay this clean for very long. So I'll just open it up for some of you looking at these trucks. Has a lot of storage in the back. I just have a cooler back here. Trash can, you know, plenty of leg room. The seat folds up, the rear seat folds down. And then up front, we've got passenger side and then the driver's side. I just have my sun visor up here. But yeah, I mean, it's a very clean, very neat truck. And one of the things I love about these trucks is the towing capacity. So if you put this truck up against any other mid-size truck, the Toyota Tacoma, the Frontier, Chevy Colorado, all of those trucks have similar towing capacity, but they're a V6, so you lose some of that gas mileage. When you go with the Ford Ranger, you get a 4-cylinder turbo. It's a bi-turbo, and it actually has 310 foot-pounds of torque, but it has 270 horsepower. So I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you the reasons that I bought the Ford Ranger over any other mid-sized truck. And I compared it to the Toyota Tacoma, I compared it to the Chevy Colorado, I compared it to the Nissan Frontier. The new Frontier wasn't out at the time, but I still think I would have picked the Ranger, because one of the great things about these trucks are they get such good gas mileage. So they say they get 21 city and they get 26 highway. The most I've ever got was 25.5 roughly on the highway. The most I've ever gotten in city was like 23, 24, which is really good. I average about 22, 23 for the most part commuting. I can pull my 16-foot flats boat with this truck and it literally doesn't even know it's there. I also have pulled, 5 motorcycles and a 6x12 enclosed trailer, which came out to be like 4,000 pounds total. I towed that up to North Carolina and back from Florida It was like a 1,200 mile trip, and I got right around like 12, 13 miles per gallon, which is absolutely insane because my wife has she had a Hemi 5.7 Ram, and that truck would get like 8 miles to the gallon towing the exact same setup. So I had one bike in the back of the truck, and then I had 4 bikes in the back of the 6x12 enclosed trailer. So 12 miles per gallon, 12, 13 miles per gallon. I could not argue with that. So let's go ahead and hop in it, and I'll tell you my thoughts on it after 22,000 miles. All right, guys, so like I said, I've had this truck for about 1 year and 8 months roughly, and I've got 22,000 miles on the truck right now. It has been absolutely flawless. The truck gets great gas mileage. It's never given me any issues. It has a lot of power. For a 4-cylinder turbo, this thing, to me, it feels like it pulls harder than the V6 Tacoma. Absolutely. The towing capacity is literally like 200-pound difference. I feel like the turbo gives this truck so much more torque though, that pulling a trailer, like literally, like when I pull my 16-foot flats boat, honestly, I have no idea it's even back there. So like I said, I'm super happy with the truck. I have absolutely no complaints with it. There are things that I feel like they could have done a little differently. I wouldn't say better, but a little bit differently. Like giving you the option to do certain things. Just little things, and I'm gonna make a video on that. I think there's like 3 things that I really I wouldn't say I dislike them, but I feel like they could have done a little differently on these trucks. So that is my 20,000 mile review. Like I said, I commute 20 miles a day roughly on this truck, and usually a tank of gas will last me about, will honestly last me about 3 weeks in this truck. I can get about 400 miles on a tank, which is 18 gallons. I can get about 400 miles on a tank with this truck, as long as I'm not dogging it and I'm not hauling like the motorcycle trailer and things like that. And I rarely ever really go on the highway with this thing unless I am towing our motorcycle trailer. For the most part, I'm doing city driving. So like I said, I don't feel like 20,000 miles is anywhere near a lot of miles for this truck. I've had 3 other Ford Rangers in the past. I had 2 4-cylinders, and then I had one of the V6s. It was a 2001. And my last Ford Ranger was a 4-cylinder, and I drove that truck until it had 280,000 miles on that truck, and then I sold it. I want to say I sold it for like 2,500 bucks, not much money, but that truck, 280,000 miles, and I was just a kid at that time. I was like in my early 20s, and I just dogged that thing. All I did was change the oil on it, and I rarely ever did that. So that's my review on the 2021 Ford Ranger XLT Sport. I know this truck is definitely becoming very popular right now. There's a lot of people buying it. There's a lot of people looking into it because gas prices are so high. And then the great thing about, you know, technology nowadays is they're putting turbos on trucks like this, and they're getting basically a truck that can, you know, outperform what a V6 or even a V8 could do 10 years ago, which is absolutely insane. Guys, let me go, so I'm gonna take the move. So times are changing, and a lot of people are still stuck on that mentality that you need like a V8 to tow anything whatsoever. And they're like, I have guys that I work with that are like, you tow all that weight with a Ford Ranger? And I'm like, dude, this thing is rated for 7,500 pounds. Like when I tow a motorcycle trailer, you know, with a couple bikes in the back and it's 3,000 pounds, I'm not even close to half the weight that this thing can handle. And yeah, I mean, that's one of the main reasons I bought it. Great gas mileage. I can tow everything that we own. I can tow our boat, I can tow our motorcycle trailer with all of our bikes in it. We can do track days, we can go to the beach, we can go fishing, all that stuff, and still get really good gas mileage for a decent price. So that's my take on the 2021 Ford Ranger XLT Sport. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.